In the southernmost reaches of Arizona, along its border with Mexico, is a special place where a certain cactus likes to call home. The organ pipe cactus, Stenocerius thurberi, can only survive naturally in this very small area of the United States, and you can find it in abundance within Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument. Outside of seeing this beautiful cactus here, at Organ Pipe, you can enjoy one of the healthiest, most beautiful sections of the Sonoran Desert that there is. Whenever we visited, the desert has been lush and full of life. And best of all, you can camp here. Camping is perhaps one of the best ways to connect with this majestic landscape and the flora and fauna you'll find here, including the fascinating organ pipe cactus. Today we're going to tell you about what we think is the best place to camp in the park and tell you about some of the amenities and things to do around the campground. So grab yourself a tasty beverage, get comfortable, and let us take you on a quick tour. If we're talking about camping at Organ Pipe, we're primarily talking about one of two campgrounds. The first and perhaps most popular option is Twin Peaks Campground, which we camped at several years ago. Twin Peaks is a sizable campground, primarily designed for large recreational vehicles, although tent campers have options here too. Twin Peaks is in a convenient location within the park and borders many worthy hiking trails and has the most campground amenities. This video is not about Twin Peaks Campground, however, but if you're in a big rig looking for a place to plant roots for a couple days, Twin Peaks is likely what you want. We'll link to a video we made about Twin Peaks on our sister channel, the Cactus Atlas, in the description in case you want to learn more. We enjoyed our time at Twin Peaks Campground, but if you want a quieter and perhaps more intimate experience in the Sonoran Desert, we prefer Alamo Campground. Labeled as a primitive campground experience, Alamo Campground is a small campground with only 4 sites, but we would argue this is the best place to camp in the park. I might even go so far as to say Alamo Campground is, to date, the best campground experience I've had in the Sonoran Desert. And I'd also say that while it fits the label of a primitive campground, it's not as primitive as some might think. I mean, it has a restroom there after all. As stated, Alamo Campground is small, only containing 4 campsites. We mentioned that Twin Peaks Campground is the better choice if you have an RV, and truth be told, really your only choice. As stated on the National Monument website, RVs, motorhomes, and trailers are not permitted at Alamo. Tent campers only. Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument is surprisingly spread out, and Alamo Campground is about 20 minutes from the visitor center or the main campground. It's down a dusty dirt road, but we'd argue a road that is well maintained and suitable for any vehicle. No 4-wheel drive or high clearance required. The campground sits at the base of some beautiful mountains, offering one of the most beautiful backdrops you could ask for in a Sonoran Desert camping experience. And yes, at first glance, you should see some of the park's namesake cacti hanging about here and there, but we'll give you a few tips on the best places to find the organ pipe cactus in abundance later on. The 4 campsites are lined up one after another, and being as though you're out in the open desert, there are not many plans to block sight lines to your neighbors. Nobody said that desert camping is the most private affair. Some might find comfort in being grouped together, perhaps, as the park is just miles from the Mexican border, and we know some are fearful of running into illegal border activity. We've spent many hours camping, hiking, and driving the remote areas of the park, and we've never personally seen any illegal activity. We're not naive enough to say it doesn't happen, but we also never felt unsafe. Your biggest hazard, just like for those crossing the border, is the intense heat of summer. But hey, you probably don't want to be camping here in the summer anyway. This is best suited for fall, winter, and spring camping. As far as campground amenities go, it's pretty standard. Each site has a picnic table and a stand-up grill. It's possible that there may be fire restrictions when you visit, which is not uncommon out in the desert, so we always recommend bringing something to cook with like propane. But in general, no ground fires are permitted, only in the grills. The ground was very level in this area and great for tents. And while there are no tent pads, it's pretty clear where to pitch your tent. You should have plenty of room. There's also a restroom here, or more specifically, a vault toilet, so no running water. But we found it to be clean. The restroom also has handicap accessible parking and a paved sidewalk. But that's about all you're gonna get. The fact that they have an accessible toilet makes this a little more than primitive in our opinion, but you do need to worry about other things like drinking water. There is also no campground host here. If you really need something or have questions, your best bet is going to be the main visitor center about 20 minutes away. You may also see folks opening the hood of their vehicles overnight when parked out here. This is the recommendation, as pack rats love to take up residence in car or truck engines. Just note that rats can chew through electrical wiring in your vehicle and cause damage, so not something you want. Okay, I think that covers all you need to know about the campground and its amenities. Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument is pretty vast, and there's a lot to do here. One of the most popular activities is of course hiking, of which there are many miles of trails. For example, bordering the Alamo Campground is a relatively short trail that takes you to the remnants of an old ranching operation. Many of the hikes in the park take you to historic structures or mines, which are our favorite. The hike into Alamo Canyon was an easy one, and outside of exploring the remaining history of the area, the views out in this part of the desert are second to none. And if you want to see the organ pipe in abundance while here, hiking is maybe the best way to do it. Near the campground, as you get closer to the mountains, you'll begin to see many more organ pipe. This is because organ pipe thrive on slopes, especially southern facing, because the rocks stay warmer longer in the winter months and save the cacti from frost damage on colder nights. So don't forget to look upwards when seeking them out. Another great way to see organ pipe from the comfort of your vehicle is by driving one of the park's best off-pavement routes, the Ajo Mountain Drive. There's another dirt road that's easily doable for any type of vehicle, with no four-wheel drive or high clearance required in our opinion. There's a pamphlet that accompanies the drive which teaches you about the desert geology, flora, and fauna as you progress through the route. Perhaps one of the best activities in the park. And for those of you who may be a little more adventurous, you can find roads that go to even more remote locations, much further removed, where you can find many more historic structures. We've just scratched the surface of all you can do. You could easily spend days exploring every nook and cranny, but even one day is enough time to take in the best the park has to offer. So have we sold you on wanting to camp overnight at Alamo Campground? Or have you camped here before? If you have, leave us a comment and let us know about your experience. Organ Pipe is perhaps the best spot to go in the state for a pristine and complete Sonoran Desert experience. I mean, where else are you going to see the namesake cacti in the US? If you found this video to be helpful or entertaining, give it a like. And if you want to take things a step further, be sure to subscribe to CampView to learn about many other wonderful campgrounds in the western US. Trust us, we've made the rounds. Finally, be sure to tell a friend and spread the word about CampView. We thank you for joining us today and hope to see you sometime at the campsite. Don't be afraid to drop by and say hi if you do.